We have an agenda in front of us. If it's acceptable, can we hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have been provided the minutes from the August 4th meeting. If there are no amendments to that, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Staff report? Anything? Okay. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 administrative approvals. If there's any that anybody wants to talk about, let's talk about them. If not, we'll move on. Okay, hearing nothing. Public hearings, the first case number 485, COA requested by Donut Distillery for modification to roof located at 1107 East Jackson Avenue.
Thanks. So this case is regarding the building that currently houses the Donut Distillery. The applicant is seeking retroactive approval for recently installed posts and Edison bulb lighting in the rooftop bar area.
Yeah, is this not working?
Hey guys, can this be on? Okay. The poles that they've installed hold a cable that runs around the rooftop with Edison bulb lighting. 1107 Jackson Avenue is described as a circa 1900 one-story, three-bay masonry construction commercial building. It's listed as non-contributing due to alterations. You'll recall that it came before this commission. The building was altered in 2021 to lower the ceiling height of the existing roof, or lower the ceiling height inside so that there could be a rooftop bar that sits behind the parapet, which is where you're seeing these photos now. The addition of items, both decorative or utilitarian, above the roof line of historic buildings is not directly addressed in the design guidelines. They do note that roof height and shape are character-defining features in the downtown. So staff finds that this installation in this instance is acceptable. It's ultimately a removable and impermanent addition, and it provides light to the outdoor space that has quite a few patrons. So we're recommending approval, retroactive approval of the COA. And the applicant, Shauna, is on the line. If anyone has questions, or if you have questions for me, I can answer them as well. Shauna, can you hear us?
I can. Thank you.
So we're only talking about some poles and the bistro lights.
Yep.
All of which are removed.
Correct.
And only barely visible from anywhere on the street.
Yeah, it just came to our attention. They have been installed, and there is that addition back there that's set quite far back, which is a permanent addition. And this was visible, even though it's not highly visible. So that's why we brought it to this commission's attention.
I'm guessing it was installed for safety, light.
Do we have that anywhere else in the square?
There is a
Thompson House, you get a little
on
glimpse.
the Tolleson building. There's the Thompson House. There's like a I don't know if there's Edison bulbs up there, but there's like a porch, if you want to call it, or it's not a balcony because it's on the roof, but there's a wooden structure.
Like a pergola or something?
Yeah. And then on Oxford Square North, which is a new building, there is a pergola structure up there. There's not a ton of areas where there's a rooftop that's not like the Graduate or that sits behind a historic parapet.
Is there any of those places you can see those two poles like that sticking up?
It just depends on where you're standing on the street.
No matter on the other places.
Oh, you can see you can see the one that's on the Thompson House pretty visibly.
Yeah, not this visibly though.
Yeah.
I don't love the poles. I mean, the one on the left looked like it's kind of rickety. I don't know.
Is there any way those, I guess we asked the applicant, said Shauna, is there any way those poles could be reduced in height?
Unfortunately, not really, because people sit. So if I don't know if you can flick to that picture where you can see where people sit. So like there's benches right there, and people are standing right there. They're standing right right there on that edge right there, and sit right there. So I just don't want it to get too low to where the cape will pull them down.
So this came to our attention when Kate was out of the office, and we had just missed the advertising deadline for the the prior meeting. And one thing I did mention to the applicant was potentially looking at maybe a thinner profile, some sort of a metal, like we have seen in other places. I think the Oliver, the Oliver has them. I think there are a couple places where there's more of like a metal, ornamental metal type of a profile as opposed to it's like a wood, maybe it's almost like a 4x4. And it was originally painted powder blue, so it really stood out. And I don't know if the thought process was trying to get it to blend in with the sky or something like that, but they did. I'm telling you, they were great to work with. We brought it to their attention. They had somebody there that day that was already doing some painting work. They painted them black to try and make it a little bit more inconspicuous until this meeting. So anyway,
Thanks, man.
yep.
Appreciate the background.
Can you go back to the prior picture?
Are there no other options to get lighting up there? That's a question to the applicant.
We looked, but yeah, because the top of where the roof is to the building is basically where people would be sitting, and we did have lights just along last year, just along that area right there, and it definitely did not provide enough lighting for safety. It was very dark back there, and we did have a couple of issues of it being too dark and our security people not being able to see adequately and things like that.
It may be just from the angle, but from sitting here and looking at the photo, it looks really sloppy. It just looks like, looks like I guess it would be your left-hand side is leaning in, but I don't know if that's from the angle.
It is leaning in some.
Okay.
I drove by.
I think for me, the word sloppy is apropos and maybe a little rinky-dink. I don't know. It just looks like something you'd see on your back deck at your. I don't know.
Do you see how it's leaning in? Is that something that y'all can adjust or?
Yeah, that left pole. Yeah, I think I can try to fix that one. It's there's an outlet right there that sticks out of the wall that we kind of had to work around. So I can try to get them to straighten it up, and we did secure it so that it was very, very secure up there. But I can try to get that so it's not leaning like that.
And I just wondered from the street field of view, can go back even further and still maintain and still allow plenty of light for that space?
No, it cannot. There's no place to put it. And also that is where the majority of the people are right there in that area is where they congregate.
Can you go back to the picture where the chairs were, where the sitting was? I don't know if it's possible to put some kind of uplighting in certain places, or, for lack of a better word, like rope lighting.
That's what we had. We still have that, but that's what we had previously.
Okay.
The rope lighting, that's what they have now, or they have up.
Which one did you say, the rope lighting or the uplighting?
We had both.
Rope lighting.
We still do. it did not provide enough light. Like the lights that go across are very important because it does get quite crowded up there. And if it wasn't crowded, it was nice. But as soon as as soon as that area gets crowded, and it does get quite crowded up there, that lighting you can't see the lighting anymore because the people just stand in front of it, and it doesn't illuminate the whole area.
Any more discussion or questions among the commission?
What about, I'm just trying to come up with other solutions, so tell me if I'm crazy, but what about putting some kind of lights on the stairwell as you're coming up on those four corners? Is there electricity running where you could do that instead?
So back there, if you look like back there, the very back area, you can't see in the picture very well, but there's tables that are back there, like if you look to the left of where your little dot is, like back there, there is an area back there that you can't really see, and that is that's where the largest part of the whole rooftop is, back there. And it's I'm not sure where you're talking about. I'm sorry.
The like the blue, I'm not gonna say building, but where you come up the stairs to go
Where it says
on to
exit?
the right where it says exit. Like I've been to y'all's place multiple times, and I can't picture it in my head.
From there back is about 20 feet, and it's dark, and that's what we had before. It's too dark back there, and that's where that back area was just, we couldn't see anything.
Was it 2021?
And really just safety-wise, we couldn't see what the kids are doing back there. And it's kind of dangerous for them to be back there without some light back there, because it does get very dark right there.
Okay, did you say it's 2021 when we approved the rooftop addition? We spent a lot of time when we were considering that COA about how far back that particular blue part had to go.
Oh, actually, that's much older. So the ceiling height for the rest of it was lower in 2021, but the addition dates even further back. But I believe you were on the commission at the time. But it's the upstairs. It was March of 2015.
2015.
Yeah. But a lot of people don't know it's back there.
Right. It seemed like we spent a lot of time to avoid having to see anything from the street. And that's kind of inconsistent where this is. I'd like to find you a solution too, John. Do you have any suggestions outside of what you presented?
I mean, I could change the pole to, like he said, to a different material.
Just to jump in, sort of checking the temperature here, it sounds like there's some resistance to what you're showing us. It seems like the commission is not feeling what you're showing, but
My issue is what's there, like Stuart says, is sloppy. The poles are not even straight. If they were straight,
Yeah, I can fix that for sure. That I can fix that.
Procedurally, I forget this. Can we condition a COA to terminate at any period? Okay.
sorry, say that again?
Can you condition the allowance of a COA with a termination at a certain period?
Yeah,
Was
you
she-
guys have done that before. So when the bar muse tile was installed into the floor, it was conditioned that if that business were to leave, that the floor tile would be reinstalled that was there previously, or it would be a blank tile that would be installed, and that was done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
once the business vacated the
Yeah.
building.
Okay. All right.
to remind everyone, for this to pass, it would need a motion first, a second, and a majority vote. So the first threshold is to get a motion to approve, if there is one.
All right, I'll give it a try. Shauna, with the condition that you straighten the pole and that the COA terminates upon you leaving the premises, which means by lease or whatever, whenever your business terminates. I hope that's not anytime soon. But whenever you leave the premises, those poles come down. That would be my motion. It will require a second.
Okay. Yeah, we'll fix those poles. I'll get those fixed this week for sure. And hopefully no time soon. But if that's the case, I will absolutely take those down when that time comes.
Okay, we have a motion with condition. We would need a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor? Opposed? No. Okay, you pass.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your all's time and your consideration and your help on this.
Thanks, Shauna.
Thank you.
All right, the next case is complimentary review requested by Stefano Capomazza for 1006 Jefferson Avenue. I will be recusing from this case from here forward, passing the mantle to our co-chair. I'm not coming back, so you'll need to close us out. Thanks.
All right, next up is a complimentary review by Stefano Capomazza for 1006 Jefferson.
Okay. So the applicant seeks feedback on a proposal to demolish the existing building and build a new 3-story mixed-use building. 1006 Jefferson Avenue is described in the Historic Resources Inventory Survey as circa 1895, 1-story frame building with vinyl siding with both Queen Anne and Craftsman styles. And I included the whole description in your report, but it's been highly altered and is listed as non-contributing in the historic district. This property has been considered by the commission many times in 2010 through 2019. There are no existing active approvals related to the property, as all have expired. The most recent approval in 2019 would have allowed the applicant to relocate the existing building out of the historic district to put a parking lot on the site. And then, so that's everything regarding the existing building. And then I attached the principles for new construction from our design guidelines for the new building. And so that's all. I'm going to let them present since it's a complimentary review, and we're not going to take a staff position.
Good evening. My name is Leslie Paval. I'm a representative of Develop Design Studio. With me is Brent Swain, and Jeff Williams is the civil engineer on this project. Perfect, the 3D image. This site is located next to the city parking garage on 1006 Jefferson Avenue. The site is across the street from a new construction building called the Zachary. It's currently under construction, and it is very similar to the proposed building. Some key aspects of the new building: it is proposed to be 3 stories from the street level with a rooftop amenity space. A basement level will be accessed from behind the building by way of the city parking lot. This basement will only be partially visible from Jefferson. The rooftop amenity space will be partially covered. At street level, approximately 4,000 square feet of commercial space will be available in the front and accessed from Jefferson, with 2 condos in the rear. The upper floors will be 4 condos per floor for a total of 10 condominiums in this building. The elevational design we propose is a transitional style with a mix of traditional and contemporary elements. The following high points are related to the historic guidelines. Site orientation and setbacks. It is oriented to address the street. Its setback is in line with the building 1000 Jefferson, a new building which is down the hill and slightly forward of the garage. It is also the same setback as the Zachary, which is across the street. The size, scale, proportion, and rhythm, we feel all of these line up with the guidelines that are looking for significant undulation, fenestration, and material interest. The height of the building will be roughly the same height as the garage and the Zachary across the street. The mass and form will be similar to other new buildings in the area, most notably the Zachary and the next door parking garage. Materials will be predominantly a mixture of large format cast stone masonry and brick. And the detail and ornamentation, we feel the design of it is of its time, as in current, but also being respectful to the historic nature of the square. We're happy to discuss the new building further and hear any feedback you have. And Jeff is able to discuss the existing building on the owner's behalf.
I just have a quick question. Four condos on the upper floors,
Correct.
and then 2 condos on the ground floor on the back side of the rear of the property?
It's not technically the ground floor from the rear. It's the first level that would be accessed on the front side facing Jefferson, but because of the grade dropping from the rear, the ground level on the rear side would actually be the garage, and the 2 condos would be above that.
So but it's still first floor residential?
That would be a variance that we would work with planning prior to submitting the project, yes.
What's the requirement now? All first floor be commercial? Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Tell me about for lack of better terms, the pergola up there.
Yes, so that is the amenity space that the owner is wishing to provide for the residents. It is not covering the entirety of the available space upstairs, and we were working to make sure that it looked both separate from the masonry elements but more permanent than umbrellas.
Is that made out of wood, steel?
Yeah. More like heavy timber, excuse me.
Because you still, I think, being also probably would get it
And that's the view from roughly Oxford floor looking south.
Yes. Mhm.
This may be a Jeff question. How about the old house?
Yes, because a member of our firm is on the Historic Commission, we feel we should defer the aspect of the entitlement process to another member of the team.
Good evening, Jeff Williams with Williams Engineering. Most of you never dealt with me on this project. He has for quite some time, been dealing with this since 2010, as Kate reminded us earlier. So the old house is non-conforming. It's been added on to, owner suspects 6 to 7 times. So the original was built in 1875. Best we can tell, approximately 800 square feet. 1975, they added the bay window on, so there's been a lot of changes. And with those changes, the roof line has changed dramatically. So if we have to move the house, we have to take the roof off and move it. So if somebody was willing to take the 800 square foot original, move it without the roof, because the roof that's on it now would not accommodate the just 800 square feet. So there's a lot of problems with moving it. You know, it was built in 1875. It has been worked on ever since, obviously. But the fear would be to move it and be an extreme added expense to someone to try to get it back usable, whether it would be for commercial or for residential.
Has that been shopped at all? I mean, I don't know anything about moving a house.
Pardon?
Has it been shopped? Any interest in maybe
Not, to my knowledge, since the time that we did it in 2010, it may have not been in 2010, but at one time it was going to university for those houses, but other than that, not to my knowledge.
No interest has been shown in it, y'all shop, I mean, ask anybody,
I'd have to get the owner to answer that question.
that's just curious. Understand, problem.
The last report, so I didn't even work here at the time of the last one, but it said that,
You're still in high school.
it said that,
Thanks, Jim.
it had been, that's very flattering. It said that it had been, like, they were planning to give it to Habitat for Humanity, but then by the end of the last report, Habitat had not agreed to take it anymore. So
That's correct.
there was no.
That's what I remember, there was kind
Yeah.
of some of this going on.
Yeah, and I think for the purposes of discussion, I mean, we're talking about demolition, and we're also talking about removal of the building from the historic district anyway, even if it's not demolished. Does that make sense? I think that's relevant. You'd be removing the resource from the locally protected area anyway, and removing it from its context. So I don't know that it's super different. That's what I'm thinking. But demolition or,
No, it was going to a parking lot last time.
Yeah.
For trees.
right,
I was gonna say, that's,
Right.
yeah.
that's the big difference, is from a parking lot to a nice looking structure this time.
I was just making sure my failing memory.
Are you doing good?
Oh, thank you.
And you said, Jeff, there were how many exterior renovations?
The owner has suggested 6 to 7. All the way on the right side of that photo and circling all the way around to the back's been added on too,
And I guess the last.
at different times.
The 1975 one, I think, seems to be a big one.
75, it really only mentioned putting the, it was changed from the style, was changed, and the bay window was added on.
I suspect that's when Deanna's convention
That's
moved in.
Probably about right.
I remember.
Okay, all right. So, anyway, I digress. Be nice if somebody take it, though. Just saying.
I understand?
From the last survey, was it contributing before?
No.
It's always been non-contributing?
Is there anything else left like this in the historic? There's no other building left like this, is there?
Well, in the residential districts, there are plenty of
Right.
structures from this era.
But not
But
the-
in the courthouse district, we don't have a ton of, I understand it's this is commercial, but you don't have a ton of residential
That's what I thought.
structures in this historic district.
And across the street in another district?
I mean,
It is.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
I mean, this is not a factor, but it would be hard to convince the public that this is not historical or non-contributing.
Sure.
I mean, that's a huge part of it, too.
And on the street directly to the west of it is one story.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you've got Oxford Floral across the street,
So there's still,
which is not the same district, but it's the same
right,
street.
right, but it has context.
Yeah.
So there's that scale, the massiveness there.
And further down Jefferson, you've got 2 residential structures, if you will, right by the new condos, the 2-story condo that we're all designed.
But overall, I mean, the street's transforming too. There is still those old scale and structures that are there to consider.
Anything else about the new building y'all want to tell us? Anything else you want?
I'm happy to answer any questions or listen to your feedback.
I mean, I think the design for the building, I think it's appropriate, especially with the new Zachary across the street and the parking garage with the brick and the stones, mix of materials. I think that's a good move.
Thank you.
Is the parking will be underground?
Yes, sir. And that's where that half-story comes into play that we would work with planning on with a potential variance.
I don't have any problems with the building. I think it's fine, but I don't know. I go back and forth about demolishing.
think when we come back for the official re-op, I think we can have a better understanding of what the cost would be, what the potential damage would be to the original structure. Shop it around, see if there's really any interest in it, so you have more information to go on as far as the realistic of getting it moved.
Will this need to go before planning, the planning commission, to do a traffic study, things like that?
It'll be site plan,
If it's site plan review,
and obviously they would need the special or variance for.
Just for me,
first floor
my
residential.
personal question, why does it go before, why do we get it first?
It's chicken or the egg. I mean, they could go to planning first.
I was just wondering,
well, it does make a difference.
It does,
Because
yeah.
when we submit it to the planning commission,
you submit the building?
yeah, we don't come back to y'all and y'all go, that won't work.
Yeah.
And why go through the site plan process if you're not approved for it?
Exactly.
Right.
And you can approve demolition without plans for construction. And I will point out too, this is gonna be the first time this commission will use the updated demolition portion of our ordinance. And there's a lot of requirements on the applicant side in terms of what's provided to the commission. So there'll be, considerable documentation required.
Yeah, what is that? Okay, refresh my memory, is it some type of landscaping too? And I
So-
can't remember.
You have to provide a reason for demolition. If it's structural, then a structural report is required. I don't know what the reasoning here is. If it's just that they want to build a new building, if there's structural issues with the roofs building.
I think that would come into play with that.
Sure, okay.
That's my question, is it just to build a new building? Or is it because it needs to be?
In reality, I know the owner personally, and I know that he's put years of work regularly. Now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion as a local engineer, I think that building has outlived its usefulness in its ability to be used. And that's just my opinion.
When was the parking garage approved and built? Is this parallel with that?
2019 is when it was
I
built.
think it finished in 19, did it not?
I think 2018 or 2019.
The reason I'm going there, it seems like there was all sorts of problems about moving anything, given high wires, low wires, whatever, and at the same time, they were off stages and stuff for the parking garage. So there was a window of opportunity there to get it out because they were having, ingress of that stuff. I'm not sure that's even an issue now, but if somebody's gonna take it, it's gonna be an issue.
Sure.
No problem.
Just for a little more clarity, if you look at this photo, the inner box of the 800 square feet is about a third of that entire building. So the bay window you see on the front is added on. The left portion is just a porch overhang. Everything on the right-hand side of that photo, you go back and wrap it around. So just to give you a scale of what we would be able to move without just completely tearing it out.
So is it like the middle line over there, to the left?
That's right.
Okay, all right. Well, I call it middle line.
So roughly the original footprint is a quarter of that.
It's like the original footprint of the Isom house is about that size too. It's about 600 square feet. Everything else is built on.
But regardless, I'm still apprehensive about demolishing it. But, as for the design, I think it's appropriate.
But we will make every inquiry we can about who would take it. We will do some homework on the actuality of the physical movement, what it would take. Like I said, the entire roof would have to be moved and demolished because it wouldn't fit on the original structure. When you start taking those things apart, those add-ons are going to take away from the entire building. It's just going to be, very raw shell when it gets to its final location. If we can get it there without destroying it, I'll put there and move. We'll get some professionals to make state assessments whether it is where you can move it without destroying it.
I mean, I'm with Kate, if you're gonna move it. I mean,
It's the same as the.
It's the same as demolishing it, yeah, I mean, it's just kinda, I don't know, I mean, I can't really think of anybody.
I don't think there'd be any buyers.
Yeah, that would want it, I don't, you know,
I mean, y'all understand what it is. It's a total PR. I mean, it is,
Trust me, I've been fighting this
you know, it's,
15 years. And I do understand it, and I like the older districts as much as anybody. This one has, you know, really not right to say it, but it's been closed in on, it's kind of on an island right there on that particular street.
I mean, in context matters, like the property to the east, this one story is stucco, it's contributing. I mean, that one to me looks more historical as well, but with that, you know, it's one of the last few forms on that side of the street that's still there from.
It was actually changed from its original style, like it was style.
And to be the devil's advocate, when we allowed that, whatever it is on the hill down there, those condos, that looks like it should be in California, and I voted for it. You change the street forever. And so, that's on me and whoever else was on the commission at that time. So there's some different precedents. I'm not saying that doesn't change the view, it needs to be preserved if it can, but it has been changed, that street, unfortunately. Anyway, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Leslie. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
okay. That was the last of our agenda. Is there, motion to adjourn?
second.
All in favor?
Ah,
There we go. Thank you all.
make sure you get your check.